Hello, hello, hello. All right, let me get my screen sharing up here and let's do this thing. All right, so what I wanted to talk to you about today is marketing in a product-led world. So let's look no further and let's jump right on in. Everybody. I'm not sure what exactly happened right there. I think we had a little technical difficulties. That'll happen sometimes. But excited to be here with you all. And let me just get my screen share up so that I can start sharing with you all. All righty. Perfect. All right, so marketing in a product-led world. Let's jump right on in. I know we are 2 minutes late, so let's get started. So what does it look like to be marketing in a product-led world? All right, double technical difficulties here. We are going to have to figure out something else. Oh my goodness. You know what? We're just going to scroll through it and we're just going to make it happen. Boom. Done. Done and done. So, hey, I'm Breezy. These are some common questions that I get. Is that your real name? Yes. Are you from an island? Yes. And are your parents hippies? Yes. Those are generally the most common questions that I get when people learn that my name is Breezy. What do? I run growth and marketing for a company called Correlated. What that is we are a revenue expansion platform for SaaS sales and revenue teams. And outside of work, I'm was a competitive marathon runner, and I recently did a half Ironman, got married this summer, and I have a cute little golden doodle named Riley. So first I want to jump in about big changes ahead, or are they already happening? So I don't think it's the future anymore, right? The present is product-led. And what does product-led mean? It's those companies where we can go on their website and immediately get started with using their product. So whether that's a free trial or freemium, a lot of the common companies that we think about that are these PLG companies are ones like Calendly or Dropbox or Expensify, a lot of the big ones. And as you can see from this graph, the PLG index is doing pretty darn well. So I think it's not only is the future product-led, but I think we are already there today. So something that's changed in the PLG era is the buying process is slightly different. And so how does this apply to marketing? So let's jump right into how this process works. So in the PLG era, one of the things that we're looking at is that marketing is all about community and it's all about product virality. So you can see on the left-hand side here, things like G2 and all of our different social channels. So LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Reddit. These are how people are learning about you. So it's all about creating a community and joining existing communities like RevGenius and other amazing communities out there. And this is how you can, get in front of your, buyer today or your future buyer, is really being where they are. And so you want to think about who your core person is and where they're spending their time. So for me, we're talking to a lot of sales and revenue leaders. So LinkedIn is going to be a huge one. But when I worked in medical marketing, a lot of our prospects were actually in Facebook groups. So that was a great place to meet people as well. So you have to think about where your buyers are, be where they are, and provide them helpful, useful resources to help them along in their journey. And so when they go to start entering what we would think of as like the buying process, they're thinking of you and your company first and foremost. So not only that part of it has changed, but one of the buying processes that has changed in this PLG era is you'll notice here that everyone's just trying to get everyone into the product. Right? So before our main goal was to get people to sign up for a demo. But now, even after they sign up first of all, they're getting to choose. Does the customer want a demo or do they want to get started in the product? And even if they have a demo, we just want to get them started in that product. And then if you look at the other side of this graph, you see that it's all about expansion. So even once they're in the product, we get them onboarded. Then we help to, convert them to being a paying user. Then we convert them to their next level of usage, and so on and so forth. So there's all these different tiers of products out there. So especially in PLG, you no longer just go from, not using it to having purchased it. You go from being a free user or a trial user to paying for it, maybe just like a Calendly license, for example. You might pay for it just on your own. And then you all of a sudden have a small team, and then you have an enterprise Calendly account. So it's all about these additional expansion opportunities. So what I really like about product-led growth is that it's a choose your own adventure for the customer. They really get to decide and be in charge of what that journey looks like for them. So how does this change marketing? And maybe also, how does this change sales and customer success? Well, it's getting super, super blurry. And I know this is a lot of text on here, but I think it's important to make the distinction between what has marketing looked like in the past and what is it going forward. So in the past, and I know this is an oversimplification, but it's about generating demand to bring in as many leads as possible, right? That's been, in a nutshell, that's what it's been in the past. But going forward, marketers, we need to be product experts. And actually, if you look down marketing, sales, and customer success, everybody needs to be a product expert. That's one of the biggest changes that we're seeing. And so you want to be a product expert as a marketer. You also need to understand the whole entire market landscape and, be that expert. And you're focused on product signups, getting conversions. And then this last piece of that bullet point, which says virality, that's a big one. So for instance, and I guess Calendly will just be our example of the day. If I'm using a Calendly account and I want to set up a meeting with somebody, I send my Calendly link to them. So that's that piece of virality, right? So now not only do I know about Calendly, but that person I'm setting the meeting with also knows about Calendly. Same goes for Dropbox. And same goes for a bunch of these other platforms where there's this virality is built into the product. And I think it's the job of marketing to help drive what that virality might look like and help to work with the product team to develop that. On the sales side, it's been about following a sales methodology, close as many new logos as possible. That's kind of the key word here. Going forward, it's not about new logo. And if you listen to Mark Roberge's talk at SaaStr and many other experts out there, it's not about landing this new logo anymore. It's all about expansion. And some companies are moving towards not even compensating very much or very little on that initial logo land. So it's all about these conversions and expansions over time. And then customer success, they've always been focused on keeping the customer happy to minimize churn. But now customer success is even more of a product expert than they were before. And one of the things that they're also focused on is getting this customer retention and loyalty from the customer who helps to be an advocate for your product. And sales and customer success, just like we always talk about sales and marketing alignment, sales and customer success alignment is going to be so crucial moving forward. So if everybody's role is to get people into the products, we're done, right? Well, unfortunately, not quite. So one of the things that's super crucial about being a PLG company is that you need to know how people use your product. So if we're talking about all these different expansion opportunities, we need to understand how are people using our product so that we can find these expansion opportunities, and how are free trial or freemium users using it. So as a marketing team, we can help to convert those folks. Well, before I jump into the tech stack, what happens when we're flying blind? You do this to your users. I had someone reach out to me. I'm currently a customer, and they reached out with a cold email trying to pitch me on purchasing the software. Yikes, right? That's not what we want at all. And instead, what we should be doing is this. If you look at that first email, it says, hey, Tim, I noticed that you recently tried to use sequences. So this was something where Tim went into the product, looked at something that was an enterprise feature that we didn't have, and now they're reaching out proactively for us to convert on that. And that makes us happy, right? Now we can get help on how to use that product and move forward from there. So the PLG tech stack, your your Salesforce and HubSpot are great places. You can use things like reverse ETL to get some product usage data into those, but there are some limitations, like you can't see trends in data, but it is a great starting step. BI tools and PLG CRM, like Correlated, these help to make your data actionable. So we pull in all of your product usage insights and we pull in all of your CRM data. And from that, we help you to take action on it. So we can like kick off your campaigns over here in HubSpot, Marketo, Slack, Outreach, SalesLoft. And so these campaigns and outreach that you're doing are actually based on how people are using your product. So big difference from what we've been doing. So MQLs and PQLs. If you haven't heard yet, PQL, product qualified lead, does that mean I just need to throw my MQL out the window? We've been working so hard on it. Well, maybe it depends, but probably no, you don't need to just throw your MQL out the window. So a product qualified lead, a PQL, users can become PQLs multiple times, just like in some larger companies. The same applies for an MQL. There are multiple expansion opportunities in PLG, like we've been talking about. So that's sort of the reasoning for why someone could become a PQL multiple times. And these are things like converting to paid, a certain usage tier, another usage tier. So there's multiple ways that people are using PQLs, but I think two ways you could think about it are these two here. So layering your PQL into your MQL scoring. So layering it on top of what you're already existing in your system. So, you're tracking website visits, downloads, third-party intent, and layering on top of that, okay, they tried this feature, they invited a new user, they logged in more than usual. The other is a double funnel approach, looking at MQLs and PQLs side by side. But too hot, too cold, too many leads, too few leads. It's the Goldilocks PQL score. So it's something we'll always be working on. The goal of this is that we're always going to be reaching the right person at the right time with the right message. And that's what this product usage data helps us to do. So I know that was a lot. We started a couple minutes late. I apologize. But I'm on LinkedIn. Come find me. Ask me any questions. I'm always there to help answer questions. And we also launched a podcast. So the CRO at Attentive, OneSignal, Twilio, huge PLG companies. So definitely go check that out. And if I can be a helping resource, please let me know.